Hi, I'm Harvey Wizard, and I'm running the best SAT tutoring college admissions program in the world. But in order for that to be true, it's got to be fundamentally different and better than what everybody else does. My students do get 1530 plus SAT scores and top 25 school admission faster and more reliably for less money than students in any other program on earth. I've got a 100% success rate for students completing my program, going back to when I started SAT tutoring to make extra money when I was a freshman at Dartmouth in 1976. That's nearly 50 years. Everybody gets in, everybody who completes my program. And here's how I make that happen. First, I focus solely on results. You pay $3,900, and I promise to guide your son or daughter to as close to a perfect SAT score as they are willing to work for, as well as admission to any school their GPA and class rank warrants. And I'm contractually obligated to do that on an unlimited basis. My process is far faster than everybody else's because I'm doing all the admission coaching myself, and that's how I know it's all done right. Let's be honest. I'm a marketing guru with 169 IQ who has generated over $30 million in revenue from my copywriting over the years to coach your teen to produce an application that can fail to sell them to an admissions officer. I've been in the college admissions industry for over 50 years. I know all the players. And from my perspective, the college admission industry is overflowing with uninspired, uncreative, former educational bureaucrats and knuckleheads. Even John Katzman, the founder of the Prince Review, admitted to my face when he said, "Well, Harvey, I guess I could say our systems are cousins of one another, but to be honest, I would be your very stupid cousin." And everybody does it roughly the same way. Getting into college is a sales process. And if you think of college admission as a sales process, and let me coach both you and your teen, I can money back guarantee success as long as your teen follows my direction and completes the College Wizard program. Each wow factor project, whether it's launching a company or charity that your teen is the CEO founder of, or a 250-page book published on Amazon, or a podcast, or another wow factor project, none of them need to take more than about a week to complete with my guidance. Common App essay takes about 3 days total time, and all the supplementals is 3 weeks total, so you can relax. We can start on wow factor projects whenever you want, but we don't have to do any of it till summer going to senior year, and there's still more than enough time. Like I said, I'm not running up billable hours. I'm focusing on results, and I work differently than those other knuckleheads. When it comes to SAT tutoring, you need a brain training system. The SAT is not like a regular test. It's like a piano. It's like playing a piano. And would you consider taking a piano lesson every day? Probably not. The hours spent in lessons should be just a tiny fraction of total preparation time, with most of the time spent practicing the piano, right? See, once a student is signed up, they have access immediately to all 54 of my College Wizard rules, the whole SAT Codebreaker 54. And if they just use those 50 rules consistently, they're guaranteed a 1530 plus SAT score. It's mathematical, but it's all about the practice. It's mostly in your teen's hands. My master teachers are there to get inside your teen's head and help them understand why they didn't use the College Wizard rule on that particular SAT problem. Over and over and over again until the teen masters my rules as well as their times tables. The ugly truth is that content errors based on things a student doesn't know only represent about 10% of total SAT errors. Certainly among the students we accept into our program, an A student doesn't need a lot of content review, but that's all the knuckleheads know how to do. So I understand that's what people are used to, but that content method does not work. It doesn't work. And I promise you, it would take up to 90% more time to get the same 1530 plus SAT score than my program gets. We're that much faster. I've been doing this for nearly 50 years. That's why College Wizard lessons do tend to be shorter than what you may be used to. We're working on a different paradigm. And again, we're not trying to run up billable hours. We want to provide the most targeted, effective tutoring that we can based on my 50 years experience of knowing what really works. In fact, what we want to see is shorter and shorter lessons, but generally a lot of them, meaning the student is really practicing. When a student has 25 wrong answers on a particular SAT test, it might take about 45 minutes to cover them all. But when a student is down to 5 errors, which is where you want to be for a 1530 plus SAT, all those wrong answers get covered completely in about 5 minutes. We still have time to go over all the questions the student has starred as being difficult. Then we go over all the questions the student's not 100% sure on or took them too long to answer. And still, that entire lesson might take no more than 20 minutes. That's a sign of progress. I'm not trying to cheat anybody. My money is riding on the teen's success because I have a money-back guarantee. But I know this is the right regimen that gets them there. And it's not the way everybody else does it. The bad information you get from friends and the internet is the biggest enemy to success in this process. The most important thing is that your teen is actually doing the practice the right way in their bedroom, whether it's working on the SAT test, doing reading practice, looking up the words they don't know for vocabulary building, working on their wow factor projects with me, or writing their essay. Are they paying attention? Are they focusing? Are they distracted by their phone? Are they investing themselves in the process as if their lives depend upon it? That's the true indicator of success. We're always here to inspire and motivate, but we can't do it for them. We don't have students take tests while our teachers watch. No, we don't. That's just one more thing that wastes time. Other tutors do it. I know it. It's easy to run up billable hours that way, watching somebody take a test, but it's not effective. Because once your team fully trains their brain to the SAT, using my SAT Codebreaker 54 system, they're mathematically guaranteed to get their 1530 plus. That's why I'm comfortable money back guaranteeing it, but it's going to take time and they need to practice every day. So let's get started. We've got work to do.